Part 5. So even Grandma said there is no way that ain't nobody who's in a state of duress should be doing anything that is going to throw they self off here today. And Grandma said, don't we know it here too? I said, you're in a state of duress and you shouldn't be doing anything that is going to make you feel out of place. And God said, that's what they know here too. And a lot of people is looking for the most, kind-hearted and loving and trustworthy person to be around. But God says, shoot, we ain't finna help you with nothing. And whatever you go through, shoot, your heart could explode and we'll walk right past you. And Grandma said, don't we know it? I said, even both of my grandmas said, shoot, we good. And we don't care. And when you have the good people that don't care, that's a catastrophic event for all these toxic people that want the good people to care. But it's time for us to all just keep moving forward. And that's what God got me doing tomorrow here too. I ain't did nothing. And they know that. And everybody looking like, yeah, ain't that the truth? I said, but that moment when she decided to do that, I said, why would you do that? Now you made us really look like there's bullies here. But there is. They bullies everywhere. And why would they be bullies when people really need to get a house, get a car, get clothes, get shoes, get everything? They don't know. And I said, unfortunately, y'all all gonna have to go. And Grandma said, ain't that the truth? I said, that's peace. I said, that's love. I said, that's balance. And I've been knowing them since I was a baby girl. And I said, ain't that the truth? I said, you don't even know where your children have been, do you? I said, she's been around that baby girl for years. And she's always taking care of them. And she looking like, yeah. And I know she would take care of me, and I would. And God said, that's what you're afraid of here too. You don't want your children to be taken care of. You want your children to go through anxiety, stress, and be all messed up. But that's because you're a mammy. But other people are mothers. And I said, ain't that the truth? I said, hey, mammy, how long you gonna be mammy in a day? Pretend mother right here. I said, what did you come up with? That was a pretend